about like just talking to people, like basically doing what we're doing right now. If it wasn't in a kind of like in a Star Trek adventure setting, like if we were just talking or whatever, then I'd be self-conscious. But because we're doing a game, I can kind of forget about it and just be me for a bit. But I mean, yeah, like I said, I get that people are self-conscious, and that's another reason. All right.
I'll be that one person in the room that will sit in
Oh,
the
we are
corner
streaming. Sorry.
and
Yeah. Nah.
just play it just so no one, so I can everyone else be the observer.
That's also, and I don't think anybody here does it, but um, I hate when I hear like computer or phone games going on in the background. Don't do that if you're in a
Yeah,
game.
that's it's hell irritating.
I know
I
there's only like one or two people that I've heard do it, but it's just like if you're gonna do that, just mute it. I see Nostra is here, not muted anymore, not deafened. Hello, Nostra. So yeah, let's go ahead and let me get the music started. Yeah, we'll go with this one, I guess. All right. So if I remember correctly, which is super rare, Zukov was attempting to yank a car through the Jeffries tube away from certain Doom. I talked to Master Kriebel about what to do with her character, um, and she said she would play, but she's got like other things going on, and so unless it was absolutely necessary and there was no way for her to get out of it, then she would uh, she would prefer if you know to write her character out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I actually had an idea for it too, so I don't. I ran this idea by Master Kriebel, and she's fine with it, as long as doesn't have any lasting permanent consequences for her actual character, which it won't. I mean, it will, but not like death or anything like that. So Zukov, you are trying to pull. I'll say you got a car completely into the air duct, and you're pulling him. And are you facing car or are you facing the way you're trying to flee?
basic car.
Okay. Behind car, first of all, you hear kind of like a low hum in the background. You're not sure which direction it's coming from, but then behind car, on the other side, like still inside the cargo bay, you see a wisp of red kind of wisping through the air towards car, and then it disappears behind her, and or him, sorry, because car's a dude, and then car's eyes glow red briefly, and the paw wraith then says, "Mortal, get away from me," and tries to scramble back out the way it came, as car tries to flee from you. Do you continue to try to hold on to car, or do you flee through the Jeffries tubes?
I mean, I'm going to hold on to car for dear life.
Okay, in the cargo bay is, if I remember correctly, Storm, Omega, and Huru are. You guys are still in the cargo bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Storm
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
And
Omega's
yeah,
still in the
I,
tubes, but he's planning to flank them and just
and
swipe them.
I'm in the what's it called, the
The air duct.
Jeffrey's tube.
Yeah.
The, yeah.
All right. So, and you guys have just heard this announcement from Dren 6. Um, The reinforcements, the security reinforcements have arrived, opened the door, like forced it open. Several, like probably a dozen security just pour in with disruptor rifles, looking around. Storm, you're the closest one to them, so you see one at a time as they're running. They're running, and then there's a bright light in front of them, and they kind of just disappear into that light. Not all of them. Maybe out of a dozen or so soldiers, probably a third of them. And then Omega and Huru, you guys are still in your positions, and you see Storm also vanish into this light. Huru and Omega, what do you do?
So, I am going to take aim at the. I'm assuming it's the defense turrets, right? Or at least that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna aim at the one that's closest to me and fire.
Okay, so yeah, before they disappeared, the defense turrets were firing at them, and even after a third of these people and Storm vanished, the defense turrets are still firing at all these people. And you fire. Roll control and security. The difficulty is going to be 2 to hit, because I mean, assuming you're not like too far into the Jeffries tube, you can definitely, see. And I don't know if I don't know if Huru's character sheet is set up in. Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's not.
So you might have to
Just
set it up or roll it, or however you want to do it.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it, but then afterwards I'm gonna start setting it all up.
Gotcha. And
I'll have to get my.
keep in mind that you're using your Klingon disruptor pistol because your rifle is out of commission for 1 turn.
Right.
As for Omega, well, it would be a brief check to check through the communications to see if, to potentially listen in if any anomalies going on. However, regardless of that, he would actually still persist in the mission by basically moving away from the ceiling area and actually try and find a way to flank both the escapees, the fugitives.
So when you check communications, you're getting a lot of panicked officers saying that a third of the crew is being transported away from the dreadnought. Sorry, I'm just doing some quick math. And then you take aim, or you crawl through the Jeffries tubes to try to get around to where Zukov is. Just roll an insight, an engineering, or con, whichever one is better. I'm guessing if you're android, engineering will be better.
I'll be honest, I don't think I actually improved on my engineering because it's a 2.
Oh. Yeah, con, yeah, but they're both 2, so either one is fine. This is just you maneuvering through the air ducts. Not maneuvering, but kind of trying to figure out, did you spend a momentum, or actually, let's see. Trying to figure out if y'all should use momentum or threat. Because this is your game, so technically you should be able to use momentum. But at the same time, we do have cadets, so maybe not. And I'm just looking through my notes to see if there is, like, how much momentum you guys had left. Does anyone remember how much you had left from last game? Probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we had, like...
Well, either way...
The last time, it was 5.
5 momentum? Okay. Since that's not going to carry over to next season, I'll just say you guys have everybody. This is everyone too. Cadets, because you're all about to be in the same boat. Cadets and the infamous players are at 5 momentum. So are you spending momentum to get the extra dice, or are you giving me threat, Omega?
Right.
Threat. All right. Thank you so much. Which, of course, because the difficulty for you... Oh, actually, the difficulty... You're not firing. The difficulty is to maneuver. You know what? Go ahead and roll for Zukov to try to... well, actually, Zukov is trying to hold on to the Paw Wraith-possessed car, so... Yeah, I don't think Zukov can even roll to kind of try to get away from your character. So you kind of get to a hatch, and you're able to drop, if you want, you can stay up there, or you can drop down into the same Jeffries tube that Zukov is in, and basically you're now blocking him from escaping the cargo bay, if you want.
Omega will patiently stay there. See this whole little thing before he drops in and just takes both of them.
Okay, so you guys, because of that, you guys are at 7 momentum now. Alright, so... Huru, you are kind of sticking your head out of the Jeffries tube, firing at the turret. Your weapons, because I just took threat for the complication. I'm not saying that you're gonna have a complication, but you basically miss the turret because the turret turns and tries to shoot at you, so you have to duck back into the Jeffries tube. And as you duck back into the Jeffries tube, you vanish in a flash of light as well. Alright, so Zukov, you are the last one remaining besides Omega. Carr is basically, as Carr has gotten out into the cargo bay, he just turns and kind of flings your arm off his shoulder. So I'm gonna roll for Carr, and I'm also because
I'm gonna contest.
Yep, you're gonna contest it. Carr, because he's possessed by a Paw Wraith, his daring is super high, so basically it's almost impossible for him to fail. I'm also going to spend threat to get another dice, so let me take that threat off here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I have 3 successes. Daring and security, you need 4 successes to...
So beat a 3?
Yep, you gotta beat a 3.
Oh, I got a 4.
It's not showing up on my end. Does everyone
I'm
else...
rolling on the infamous 4th
Gotcha.
Legionnaires
Gotcha.
one.
Yep. Alright, so you got 4 successes. You hold on, although you're still holding on to him, you do get lifted off the ground and like shoved. You're not taking any damage, but you do get shoved into like, some the crates that you guys use to kind of
Cover?
yeah, you get slammed up into that, and then as you get slammed up into that, Zukov, Omega, is Omega going to do anything?
He's going to drop and basically, how do I say this? Drop kick both of them.
All right. So as you kind of slide out of the Jeffries tube, ready to run and just drop kick both of them, and as you run, it's like you're running into some kind of energy field, and you vanish in a bright light as well. And we will come back to Zukov to see his fate in a moment. Cadet Karava, you are aboard the Legion, but you're in sickbay. Cadet Padar, who was knocked unconscious. Oh, and then this is also Thiessen and Lieutenant Runa as well.
Yeah.
You guys are in sickbay, being looked over by Dr. Damal. He basically, you guys are not allowed to leave sickbay until you've done gotten a complete physical, because you came from the other side of the galaxy, and they want to make sure that this kind of travel through the wormhole doesn't affect everybody else. Padar still unconscious, and The Legion is approaching the starbase, and um, basically, you guys get word from. Well, actually, Dr. Damal tells you that the captain is not taking any visitors, no questions. If you have anything that you want to talk to anyone about, you can talk to Dr. Damal. Otherwise, you're going to be let off at the starbase and basically be allowed to kind of rest and recuperate on this starbase, which I believe, I'm going to look it up, but I believe it's going to be, well, the name of it doesn't matter, but do you guys have any questions for Dr. Damal, or do you guys just want to get off the ship and head to, the colony and the starbase to recuperate?
Lieutenant Werner would ask the doctor, have we received any word from the Bajoran wormhole?
No, but we are pretty far away from it, so it might just take a few more hours for us to get any reports.
Did
Actually,
it settle down, or
we again, we don't know. So just as a kind of a reminder, so the time between you guys exploring the Bajoran wormhole and now, well, the time between that and you guys arriving in this part of the galaxy is probably a few minutes. The time between that and now is like another 5 or 10 minutes, because you guys, so basically all together, because of the quantum slipstream drive, but basically all together it's only been 20 minutes since you guys have been to the Bajoran wormhole, so they're not going to have any information right now.
Yep. Lieutenant Werner would definitely go down to the base. If the cadets want to ask questions, they're more than welcome to ask the doctor questions.
And it's G7 is the name of the sectors. Sorry, go ahead.
Karava, she'll just be looking down at an injured friend, and she says, "Hey, just please make sure to take good care of her. Take care of him."
Of course, that's my job, cadet.
And I'm gonna say she's trying her best not to seem emotional, but she's yeah, she doesn't look happy. She looks kind of upset.
Okay, and what about Cadet Thiessen?
I would be on the bridge.
No, you wouldn't.
And
I
wouldn't.
You're either in sickbay or you're on the colony, on the starbase. You're not on any other part of the ship.
All right, then I'm in sickbay.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Do you have any specific anything you want to do there? Because once you guys are done, you're gonna get allowed to leave. Basically, have R&R on the colony.
Yeah, I would just be running a diagnostic, a science diagnostic in the medical room, just to make sure that their computers are working fine or something.
Okay, just trying to help out.
Yeah.
As you're standing at a console, a shadowy figure, all black, appears behind you, and he says, "I am Legion. I am the ship's AI. How may I assist you?"
I'm just running a level 1 diagnostic on the medical terminals here, just to make sure that they're okay for our patients before I have my little bit of R&R. I just wanted to know if there's any bugs in the system.
We have not detected anything since our last update 3.7 minutes ago.
All right. Is there any power fluctuations within medical bay?
There are no power fluctuations within the whole of the ship.
That will be all. Thank you.
Very well. And then he just vanishes.
Lieutenant Renner just has a smile and just laughs about it.
And Lieutenant Runa would sense emotion coming from Legion. And It's funny because as you're in sickbay, you sense a lot of emotion just in general, and then when Legion shows up, you're like, oh, the what I'm sensing is from that individual, and then when he leaves, you still sense it, but it's more like around you instead of directly at that one hologram. It's not emotion like you don't sense sadness or anger or anything like that. It's more of just like um, sentience, awareness, curiosity, stuff like that.
Legion.
Legion appears next to you. Lieutenant Runa, greetings.
Did you ever think about sitting down to talk to somebody on how you're feeling? Legion. This is, I'm talking to the AI.
I don't know. I was just waiting to see if
Legion.
Karaba had anything that she wanted to,
Yeah.
that she was gonna say.
No, she won't say anything.
Okay.
If you want to say something.
Legion says, there is no reason for an AI to examine its feelings.
Yeah. Why are you so curious?
I am a computer program. I am designed to seek out information. Is this not my purpose?
Yes, it is. But it's okay to talk to somebody if you're feeling something different. Like if you're wanting to talk to somebody.
Unlike humanoid creatures, I do not experience the typical emotions that others experience. I merely understand and am aware of my existence and those around me. There would be no need for me to have a conversation about it with anybody unless it was for someone else's curiosity. You are Lieutenant Runa.
Yes.
There is gaps in my database about your history.
How so?
The gaps seem to be related to your mother and father.
Ah. You don't have them on file?
They are on file. However, there is no record of their there is no record of their careers after your birth.
My mother is an admiral.
Then she has not been active for several years.
She's head of the medical sector. Admiral Ashland.
And he stops for a moment, thinks about it, looking back in the records. Yes, several years ago she was promoted to that position. However, there is no record of anything after that. No physicals, no reports, no medical logs, nothing.
Does Rona know her mother's been missing?
I don't know. Does she? Has Runa been speaking with her?
Not for several years.
Then no. As far as Runa's concerned, the last time she spoke to her, everything seemed fine. But this seems to have happened. Whatever memory gap Legion has of Ashlyn happened right after Runa's birth, so that part doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Because I can, uh, my mother is definitely an admiral of medical. Um, mm, that's weird.
Legion says,
Why?
perhaps you should contact your mother and find out why her records have been erased.
Hmm.
I must go now. I have work to do.
Okay.
And then Legion vanishes. Alright.
I turn to the doctor
Sorry, go ahead.
and say, "Hey, can you keep an eye on him? Like,
Keep an eye on the AI.
sign one of your counselors onto him so they can talk to him."
Why do we need to talk
Uh,
to our computers?
As a Deltan, I can sense emotion.
There has been rumors that the AI exhibits motion. However, further investigation has detailed a report saying that it is mere quasi sentience. Basically, it seems like sentience, but it's not. He shrugs. Not my department. But I'll ask the captain if he wants a full investigation.
And plus, get the engineers to actually do a proper investigation. I know my father disappeared, but my mother's record being,
The Legion computer has full access to Memory Alpha. If there's some kind of records being manipulated, it's on Memory Alpha. It's not with our computers here on the ship.
okay. I'll contact my mother because something's weird. Because she would never leave Starfleet
Alright,
as head of medical.
we're gonna jump back to the bad guys. Y'all, the three of you, Omega, Storm, and Huru, appear with the probably several dozen others in a large command center. You don't recognize the command center. However, there are many soldiers and guards kind of around the perimeter, especially near the doors. At the top of what looks to be a golden and a throne with a bunch of other kind of bejeweled decorations is an individual. Actually, I'm actually going to move you guys to a black screen just so I can show you who's who. You see Drin 601 there, Q Jr., Chikura is there, and then of course you guys, Huru and Storm, and also, let me grab Omega's token. At the top of this throne is a man, a Dren clone with glasses, you know, smooth, slick back hair, a nice black and white three-piece suit, just sitting there, looking down at the, 30 or 40 people that have been beamed into the command center. Everybody's weapons is disabled. People try to shoot, nothing happens. Obviously, blades will still work, but any energy weapons will not. And the man on the throne.
I get everyone.
What was that?
I make sure we all don't be anywhere near people who are gonna try and stab or shoot everyone.
Okay. Pretty much everybody.
And just,
Sorry, what was that?
I just go, "Team, let's go back here so we aren't in the way."
Um, the as you guys kind of move to the back corner or whatever, uh, there's a woman standing by him who he whispers something to her. She whispers to some other soldier or officer, and then that officer goes and kind of begins giving orders to some of the people around the perimeter, and that officer turns to everyone and says, "You are all going to be separated into groups of 6. Do not resist or you'll be killed." And everybody starts getting taken out different doors of this command center and kind of down corridors. Eventually, there's only 3 groups. Your group, which is huddled in a corner, and 2 other groups that are in different locations. The man on the throne, Drinclone, stands up, looks to the 18 individuals that are left, and he says, "Do you know why they call me the greatest infamous overlord of all time?" He looks around. It seems like it might be a rhetorical question, but he does look around to see if anybody answers. Does anybody answer?
No.
Nope.
He says, "I've not only conquered dozens of universes, but unlike most versions of the infamous, I'm not so unbalanced and psychotic that I need 100 advisors and strategists around me planning my every move. I also don't unduly punish subordinates for mildly upsetting me. Everything I do is calculated. So I give you this choice. One you will not be punished for if you don't tell me what I want to hear. Who do you serve? The infamous Godmaster Jannar, or me? And before you answer, I am going to separate you all so that you cannot collaborate." And he begins gesturing to each of you and to other soldiers, and some of the other soldiers come over and start pulling you guys away from each other. Force fields then appear around you. You'll notice that they are soundproof force fields, and Dren 6 himself goes into each of these force fields. He can pass in and out. When others try to get out, they can't. So just so you know. But he walks inside. Let's see. Someone want to roll a D? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a D6. Someone want to roll a D6, and then I'll figure out who is getting.
I'll roll a d6.
Okay. We'll figure
I'm
out.
currently rolling it.
Okay. Well, you both can roll it, and whoever gets the lowest one can go first. So yeah, 6 and a 4. So
Oh, it looks like
Storm is gonna
looks
be
like Storm.
Yep. First one is Storm. So he walks in in through the force field and looks at you, kind of pulling at his cufflinks and cracking his neck, and he says, "Another Dren clone. Honestly, too many of us. All right, what's your verdict? Do you follow me or do you follow the Godmaster?"
Well, if I end up going back to him, I'm dead anyway.
Why is that?
I was supposed to do a mission for him, and if I didn't do the mission, I'm dead.
He kind of thinks for a moment. He's like, "Oh, what mission is that?"
A rescue mission.
A rescue mission.
Apparently, well, it's too late now. I didn't succeed in my rescue mission anyway, so I might as well tell you. He has a son. I'm supposed to rescue him. I couldn't find him.
What's his
I'm already
son's
dead.
name in this universe?
JM, do I remember?
I don't know. Do you? You can roll for it if
I don't
you
think
want.
anyone remembers it.
You can roll for it, or you can just spend a momentum and I'll tell you.
I'll spend a momentum and you
Okay.
can tell me.
Eldrick Shade. So you tell
Eldritch
him?
Shade.
Okay, he says,
Yeah.
interesting. I'm sure I've got him in the cargo bay somewhere. Very well. If you choose to serve me, know one thing. I may be considered more reasonable than most versions of the Infamous, but if you betray me, that is where my rationality will end. If you decide that you want to be on my ship and serve as my crew, then I may have a mission for you in which failure does not mean death. Do you accept? You there, Mac?
Yep. What did you say?
I said, I may have a mission for you that failure does not mean death. Do you accept?
Yes, I do.
Alright. So Storm is Dren 6 faction. He goes over to Omega. He says, an android, I could just reprogram you, couldn't I?
To a degree, yes. It's inevitable to reprogram.
Do you have any love lost with the Godmaster Jannar, or do you see the way the tides are turning and decide that maybe a new leader is in order?
On several reports, there's signs of inefficiency, cracks within the system.
Then you agree that I am the better ruler for the infamous allegiance, or whatever this guy calls it. If you serve under me, I will give you a mission. Failure of that mission does not mean death. It simply means you keep on going and doing what you're doing. However, success in that mission means a good place, a high place in my armada. Do you accept?
You just see
Accept it.
Storm giving you a thumbs up, like,
Accept
do
it.
it.
I accept.
Very well. I don't know your name, Android, and quite frankly, I don't care, but I look forward to the day where I do care and I do know your name. And then he just turns and walks out of the force field. Alright. He goes over to Chicker. All you guys see is she's yelling. He turns and nods to one of the soldiers outside of the force field, and when he walks out, all you see is a transporter beam transport Chicker out of the force field, and that's the last of you see of her. He walks over to Huru, and he goes inside the force field that contains Huru, and he says, a Herosian hunter. One of the universes I conquered recently didn't even have your species. You had all been eradicated by the Borg. Tell me, Herosian, I hear that you were given a mission in which you could not succeed. If this is true, do you still serve your master, or are you willing to serve me?
The mission is true. However, I will serve you. The only reason being is because Storm will serve you, I suppose. I am indebted to him as a life debt. I serve you, and I serve Storm.
I see. You know this Storm well. What if he decided that he didn't want to serve me and he wanted to go back to Dranar? Then you'd be serving me and he'd be gone. You don't know for sure. That's, you know, why I put you guys in these separate force fields. Because I wanted an honest answer. But just so you know, Storm decided to change allegiances, so you're safe and sound. But let me give you some advice, Erosion. You will do well to seek ambition above that of your Dren clone masters. Just because you're Herosian doesn't mean you can't one day rule all of this. In fact, there is a universe out there where a Trill rules all of the infamous domain. She was very interesting, and I hated to have to kill her, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And he just nods and walks out. He goes to the queue.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, will I be keeping my ship?
He continues to walk out. He does not answer you. He goes over to the queue, the junior queue. You see the junior queue point towards Dren 601, my character, and they're talking back and forth for, you know, a minute or two, and then Dren 6 leaves the force field and goes into Dren 601's force field, and he takes the medallion around Dren 601's neck and he crushes it with his hand. And then he just drops the pieces on the ground, and Q vanishes in a flash of light. And then he leaves the force field. After talking to one or two people, all the force fields come down. And Dren 6 says, not surprisingly enough, most of you have decided to join me. Like I said before, if you attempt to betray me or sabotage me or think that you can spy on me, you may have one opportunity to do so before you are removed from your current status as living. And he says, the rest of you who decided that you will not serve will be sent back to your ships unharmed. And as he just turns and walks back to his throne, one of the soldiers taps at a console, and like a quarter of the people in this room are transported out in the same kind of flash that you saw when you guys were first here. Now, Dren 6 says, prepare to... Oh, by the way, your guys' force fields come down. And he looks over to Huru and he says, take the communication station, Herosian. I need you to send a message, broadcast it to the entire armada. Let me know when the communications is online.
Communications are up, sir.
This is Overlord Dren 6 of Universe STA 2666-M. You've all heard of my exploits, my conquests. You've all heard I was coming. I am here now. The Dren clone who removes Drenar from power will sit at my right hand. Anyone else who comes to the Shackleton Expanse wormhole to join, or the small Magellanic Cloud wormhole coordinates to join my empire will be accepted. Those who come to fight or resist or sabotage me, either by might or infiltration, you will perish. And this is where the infamous civil war begins in this universe. Back on the infamous Dreadnought Primetime, Zukov, you've just been slammed up against a wall, or, you know, some crates. The Pa Wraith kind of turns and glares daggers at you, eyes red. And now I am going to roll for telekinesis. Oh, wrong. Alright, let's see it. I believe it's control and security. I'm going to spend a threat to get another dice. This cannot be contested, unfortunately. So All right. Only require. Ooh, almost got a complication there. 2 successes with 3 dice, and your character is lifted and into the air by an unseen force, and the car speaks in some ancient Bajoran language that you can't understand, and then says, "I have been imprisoned for so long. The infamous has released me. You will not contain me." And then turns and begins to walk away. After it walks a few feet, you drop back down to your feet. What do you do, Zukov? You there, Zukov?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm just out of game. I'm considering how to respond. You know.
Well, does Zukov know what a pot wraith is? Or is Zukov just like,
No.
oh shit, some kind of weird alien just took over my friend?
I don't think he's well versed in anything Bajoran related.
Makes sense. Well, for a pot wraith, it's being very magnanimous and merciful, not trying to incinerate you immediately.
I'm gonna be honest, out of game, I'm completely stumped.
Alright, well, I'll jump to the cadets and you can have some time to think about what your character would do
No,
there.
like, really, I'm trying to think of something, but nothing is showing. Just absolutely nothing.
Well, you do see, after this happens, you do see, like, a few minutes later, a bunch of people being transported back to, the security that was coming to hunt you down, the reinforcements, they beam back in.
Oh, right. Oh, you know what? Even when I could try to actually go after it,
Okay, so you're
I'll
gonna...
probably try. Actually, if they're trying to escape, then that means I could potentially just kill it.
You could potentially do what? Kill it?
Kill it.
Tail it? Oh, okay. So yeah, you...
Because if it's trying to look for the escape pods...
Yeah. Well, it'll escape in some form or fashion. You're not sure how, but... And you also know that the escape pods and the shuttles and all the ships on this dreadnought have all been locked down so that you guys can't escape. So, but...
Right.
The
Then
pod...
I guess I'll have to find some... I'm just gonna... You know what? Then I have no really... I don't really have much of a choice, but I'm going to go right into the whole, ventilation systems.
Okay.
But just try to retain visuals of my friend because I do not want to abandon them.
Okay.
I really don't.
You also have
even if they're possessed.
Yeah, you also have a hand scanner, so you can kind of keep track of the heat signature of the of Carr, which is a lot more now that a pot wraith is possessing him. So you're able to crawl through the vents and keep track. You do see, as you're looking out into the corridors and stuff, you do see people beaming back in from apparently being abducted. Not really sure what the hell that was, but
as well as the turrets going again.
No, I mean you've left the cargo bay, so you don't know if the turrets are fixed or if they're like shooting all the security or what. But presumably they're going to be shooting all the security unless they somehow manage to fix it. But yeah,
Definitely shooting.
All right, so we'll jump to the cadets. You guys are now on the colony, being a newly discovered planet. Actually, I actually have information on this planet, which you guys are the first to step foot on, which is weird because I mean, obviously, I thought that the Legion crew would be the first to step foot on it, being that this is their game. But no, you guys are the first player characters to explore this planet. So this is a binary star system. It's got 2 suns. One's bright. Well, they're both bright red, being red stars. Let's see. Oh, let me look at. It's got 1 M-class planet, and that's pretty much it. There's no other planets apparently. Either that or I just fucked up my notes, which is possible. So you're on this M-class planet. It's basically similar to how you guys have seen, where you have a bunch of modulars kind of set up. What happened to Mac? Did Mac disappear? But yeah, there's a bunch of modular kind of.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, there's a bunch of modular buildings set up throughout the it looks like a colony. I mean, the grass is green, the sky is blue. It looks kind of like Earth, but in the distance you can see some mountains and some trees and stuff that don't look really Earth-like. So I mean, it's just alien enough to be alien, but also just Earth-like enough to be a very comfortable living. You've been giving temporary quarters until a ship can take you back to probably Earth, with Starfleet Command or Starfleet Academy, but they haven't given you any orders as of yet. So being in this relatively new colony, which has just been set up within the last year, what do you guys want to do? Assume this has everything that your Starfleet Academy campus had, and probably more. So what do y'all want to do here?
I would tell they have honor.
Can you repeat that? You're going in and out.
I would tell the cadets they have R&R until
okay.
we get picked up. Yeah.
And what does Runa do after?
Because there's no standing. She tries to contact her mother.
Okay. You try to message, typical like you've normally done before in the past, and it just basically is, nothing happens. In fact, after like 15 minutes, somebody else answers. He says, "This is Lieutenant Brown. How can I help you?"
I'm looking into Admiral Ashland.
Ashley.
Do you know where she is?
I don't know that name. I mean, I'm with Starfleet Security, and we're investigating some disappearances. But that name, we might have to add that name to our list of people that have disappeared. But just give me some information about her. What species is she?
She's half Delta and half Vulcan.
Okay. And what's her occupation? You said Admiral?
Yes, she's Admiral of the Medical.
Chief of
She's
Medical.
been like that for
Gotcha.
7 years. Yeah, Chief of Medical for about 7 years. I'm quite surprised you haven't picked up on that.
I mean,
Chief of Medical.
the name sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know every admiral in Starfleet. So, but yeah, I like I said, there's been some disappearances. Some memory alpha has apparently been hacked, and there's just a lot of weird stuff going on with that. A lot of data just being erased or hacked and changed, or all kinds of weird stuff going on. And it seems to be related to missing people as well. We do have some theories, but nothing solid. Our one theory being that there is some kind of quantum anomaly that's erasing people from history, but that's, again, just a theory.
It doesn't explain that I'm still existing then. If, my...
Well, we don't think they're actually erasing them from history. I mean, the theory is that they're erasing their, history from the databanks so that nobody thinks to look for them because they're missing, if that makes any sense. So...
There we go. Hello.
Some random person just showed up. Go ahead, Mac.
So basically they, she goes, then, doesn't explain that I'm still here, that I'm
It's not a time.
daughter.
It's not a time travel thing. They're just going missing, and then somebody is messing with the records to make it look like they never existed. It has nothing to do with time travel or erasing people,
Yeah.
like actually erasing people from existence. It's not like that.
She then goes, okay, we'll get on to the next shuttle to Earth.
Are you coming to Earth?
Yes, at this present time, I don't have any standing orders, and the academy is, well, going on summer break.
Okay. Well, maybe you can help with the investigation, find out where all these missing people are going. There's a dozen, roughly, so far. Like I said, I was stationed here at your mother's quote-unquote place. We haven't found any evidence that she's ever been here, but obviously if they can erase stuff from Memory Alpha, they can probably easily erase evidence from an apartment building. So, like I said, we'll keep you updated. Let us know when you arrive, and we'll collaborate with you on the investigation.
I'll to the
Sorry, what was that? You went in and out.
basically she wants to make she'll try and find the next shuttle to Earth.
Okay.
And
It's gonna be rough to get back because the only ships stationed there right now, one is a ship that refits other ships, and the other three are warships stationed in this area to protect it. So it's gonna be a little while before you can find a transport back.
Yeah.
It might be several days, it might be several weeks. You just don't know.
she will talk to the cadets to see if any of them want to go back to Earth
Well, they're all eventually
to
gonna go
at
back
least
to
make
Earth.
it.
Like I said,
Yeah.
eventually. Hello, Nostra's face. I don't know why I said that. Oh, she wants to show the kitty.
Yeah, so
Aw.
she'll tell them that either in the next 7 days or a few weeks she'll be to the cadets she'll be going back to Earth if they want to join her going back to Earth, and they can
Well,
rest up there.
yeah, you're all eventually going back to Earth because you need to go back to the academy and all all that stuff. So yeah, everyone's gonna be going back together. Nobody's gonna be allowed to stay here, basically. But
Wishy Russian blue.
Russian blue, Russian blues are so cute.
Mine's just a stray cat I found outside.
Aww. I mean, I have a black cat.
Black cats are cute
I just
too.
have this really big boy.
Why does it look like his ears missing?
Oh, he had some issues with my ex's pit bulls.
Oh dear Jesus.
Oh.
His ear's not gone. It's just really deformed.
So
Okay.
basically, it was basically your cat was basically like a 4-year-old to those pit bulls.
Oh my God.
Yeah, honestly.
It was like a chew toy.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, Karava, what is Karava up to? What's Cadet Karava up to?
Not much. She'll just be waiting to see what information.
Looks like
I'm
he
sure
was the
fine
one in the
from,
call, not me.
All right, and Deason, what about him?
I would be heading back to Texas, to the underground facility where I live.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's gonna be in game several days or weeks before y'all get back to Earth. So, if there's nothing that you guys want to do on the colony, then we'll jump back to Dren 6, which is probably honestly gonna be Kim's favorite part.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. Oh, I thought you were saying bye to us. You saying bye to the cat?
No, I meant bye to the kitty. I'm staying. I'm not
Okay.
participating much, but I'm staying.
Okay, well, you know, It's
I'm
whatever.
just the janitor on board, okay, guys? Got any spills? I'll clean it up.
All right. All right. So you
You
guys.
just need some generate.
Yes.
PCs.
In the infamous Armada that just
Don't worry, I'll be the
cleaning.
cook.
We have a janitor and a cook. Um, okay. Now, I need. I know all of you on the all of the bad guys. I know you're all top security, so you don't have to tell me security. But what's your next highest thing, Tali, for Huru?
Oh, my next highest thing is con
Okay. He wants you on.
at a whopping 4.
Okay, he wants you at the pilot station then, or one of the pilot stations. It's a dreadnought, so there's like 6 pilots. And Nostra, what about your character? What
Aside
about?
from a comically super high security, I have a command and medicine as 3. Those are like my
Okay.
second highest stats.
Then you are going to probably be helping with medicine, especially, or delegating if Dren 6 needs you to do that. But yeah. And what about Storm? Dren clone 17,
Well,
14.
funny enough, it's
It's what? Uh-oh, did Mac disappear? Mac disappeared. Welcome back, Mac.
basically command at 4
Okay,
is at 4.
what's your? Do you have anything for 3?
Medicine.
Okay, you'll probably be helping with that too then, because we are now entering space combat, in which about 24 dreadnoughts go up against 1 dreadnought, which is the one you're on. This is a. Let me pull it up. This is called the Sun Eater, and it is a scale 10 dreadnought. It is about the size. Actually, I think I can hopefully, maybe, possibly send you a picture, give you an idea of the size of this ship. New STA. Where'd I put it? Watch it not be here.
Since you didn't ask me, my next is defensive janitoring.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Back up.
It's probably near Carmen, San Diego.
Oh, thanks so much. Let's
You're
see.
very welcome. This.
STA 0 maybe? How did I not save it? I know I saved it. I 100% saved it. What's this one? Nope, that's not it. Alright, so I guess I'll look it up again. Alright, so this ship is very, very big. Where is it? Not Chevron, Charon. It's the ship from the Mirror Universe from Discovery. But there was a picture. It's basically like 3 times the size of Deep Space Nine and bigger than a Borg cube. Like it's pretty. It's not like Earth space dock level, but it's pretty big. All the what's it called? Dreadnoughts that are up against you guys are like scale 7 to like maybe 9. So they're still pretty big, but they're not really as big as that. So the biggest one would probably be the size of Deep Space Nine. But yeah, a lot of fighting is going on. I am gonna have all of you, because you are high security. You're all gonna be firing, but you're also probably going to be doing medical stuff and flying as well. All right, so. Dren 601, by the way, has left the command center, so you don't know where he went. Q obviously has disappeared. She has been beamed somewhere you don't know. So it's the 3 of you as far as you know. Dren 6 is basically barking orders, but his executive officer, who seems to be a human woman, is also barking orders. They don't contradict each other, but they are different orders to different people, which is kind of efficient because, you know, you have a big ass ship with like 20 people on the bridge. So I need Huru to roll control daring and con to try to fly this hulk of a ship. Um, Unfortunately, the ship itself is going to assist with engines con, but its con is a 1 because it's a freaking large ship and it can't really go that fast. So go ahead and let me know how many successes you get for that. You got 1 success for the ship, so alright, so you got 2 successes, 3 successes total. Alright, so you are... Is there any specific way you're trying to fly? Is it like evasive maneuvers, or are you just trying to turn to keep the guns aimed at the other bad guys, basically?
Attack pattern and leaning to the port side so the port weapons could aim properly.
Okay. So you obviously, like I said, big ship, so you can feel the size as you're trying to like turn it to the port, and it's just listing to the side, not really wanting to turn because it's so huge. So a lot of the other smaller ships are like getting a lot of good shots in at you guys, but you, strangely enough, the hull is pretty. The hull and the shields are pretty advanced, so the most of the weapons are not penetrating, and you are gonna make it easier for the next person to open fire. So Omega, I'll say Omega and Storm, if you guys want to do control and security to open fire with which weapons, you guys should be able to see the Sun Eater's character sheet. So if you scroll to the weapon section, you have anti-proton cannon, singularity torpedoes, which is like firing a black hole at someone, tractor beams, obviously, disruptor cannons, and plasma torpedoes. Y'all can each decide individually which ones you want to fire. And this will
When I
reduce
say
black hole
when I
torpedo.
say singularity,
Okay,
black hole torpedo, I'll be
yeah,
like,
usually that's
uh,
the funnest one. And what about you,
I'm,
Nostra?
I
Over optimize the
unleash
ever-loving
bliss.
shit to make sure it hits perfectly, and perhaps hits so well it could support
I look
everything to
over
be
at
much more higher and have everything well done.
Hold on,
I look at Omega and go,
I just want to say, Nostra, you went in and out a lot there. It was hard to hear every other word. So can you repeat
Sorry,
that?
my mom keeps talking, and my mom keeps talking.
It's okay.
I look at Omega and I go, oh, I'm gonna love these.
Might as
So,
well over optimize its accuracy.
I mop the floor.
best janitor
And I
ever.
go,
I'm going to optimize the ever-loving shit out of its accuracy. Make sure that it can hit so well, it could probably hit through something else, and also basically be even more brokenly overpowered than it already is.
So
I'm gonna give you 2 threat.
okay? Is that a talent you're using, Omega?
No, not really. It's just, how do I say this? Well, I mean, aside from I have a fuck ton of focuses.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's see. Computers. All right. So I'm gonna say then that that is gonna reduce the difficulty of Storm's attack from 2.
As well as Jedi marksman, maybe, hopefully.
I think that's a rifle thing, isn't it? Let me. I might have to look it up. But it'll definitely reduce it at the very least from 2 to 1. So go ahead and roll Storm Control and Security difficulty 1
I'll
for now.
assist.
Okay, and you can assist, and the ship will definitely assist. So let me.
Right, whatever success you get, we just add to the pool of oh,
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear what you said. Most of what you said.
other once you say the successes, then you'll be like, yeah, we got
Yeah.
some pool of momentum.
So you got four. Four. What the hell happened to the music?
anyways.
All right.
So we don't really need to put it in hot
So
water.
because the ship was turned to its side, I am now trying to organize and like make sure shit doesn't fall everywhere, seeing as how the ship is now almost capsized.
But I
Okay.
now have to
Do,
pick up
do
all
I have
my
to roll
kitchen
for that?
utensils.
No, you don't have
Do
to
I have
roll
to
for
roll for
that.
that?
You
Okay.
just automatically organize.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. Let me look at the rolls. So yeah, you got 4 successes and the difficulty was 1. So you guys are. I think you guys are way maxed out on momentum. Because I think you were at 7, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. I got it written down back here. You were at 6, so 7, 8. Now you're maxed out. All right, and that's yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is a scale 8 ship that has 4 breaches on its structure, plus 2 damage to the stress or to the shields, and basically the structure begins to like collapse in on itself because you have 4 breaches on it. All right. So since that was an assist, technically. Oh wait, go ahead, Matt.
You just hear Dren Storm just laugh really loud.
Just laugh, cackling, a cackling maniac.
Yeah.
All right. Since that was technically a assist from Omega, if you have any rolls that you actually want to do, then let me know. Mainly attacking.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can actually attack. If I could do that.
I mean, I'm sure you can. You're an android. I'm pretty sure your control security is pretty good. Y'all also still have determination unless you used it last time.
I don't think I used it for Omega yet.
So yeah, you can. Although I don't know if using it in this is a good idea, just because it's pretty easy.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. But let's see.
Let's see. Yeah, I can definitely commit a little war crime, maybe. Let's see here.
Commit a little war.
Crack.
Just a little war crime.
You know, a little bit of trolling.
Look, you're only killing millions of people. It's not like you're killing billions.
Only a little bit of genocide.
Alright, let me...
Yeah.
Okay. And did you spend momentum or give threat for that?
I gave threat.
Yeah, you like giving threat. So yeah, basically you definitely... Which weapons are you using, by the way?
Let's see here. Torpedoes.
Alright. So go ahead and roll the damage. Every breach is going to be or every effect will be a breach for the Singularity torpedoes.
So which ship are we using?
The Stun Eater, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. It's right above player characters folder.
Okay.
And I will also say that
Actually, I'm gonna use the anti-proton cannon.
Okay, go ahead. Use that.
I'm sorry for like vaguely interrupting, but my friend's actually interested in joining the Star Wars thing. If
What did you just say?
My friend overheard us.
Look.
And they sounded really interested in play as well.
This is not Star Wars, okay? I know they're similar, but this is not Star Wars.
Sorry, they're all the same. It's Star Trek. You're not interested for that?
way I got out early.
Yeah.
Because I told
I'm
them-
sorry. Never mind. Completely ignore this. I go back to organizing.
Yep, yep, yep. They hear the word space and they're like, "Oh, it's Star Wars." All right. We're still getting banned from YouTube. Anyway, anti-proton cannon. You are, yeah, that's basically, you eviscerate not only one ship, you destroy two ships. The beam goes right through one and through the other ship, and just destroys, cuts them in half, basically. Still Dren is giving orders, and then a console explodes, and someone is injured, and he actually orders, he says, "Get that man to sick bay." Which is kind of surprising because most Dren clones don't give a shit about their people. But does
I'll
Omega?
drag him to. I'll drag the guy to the sick bay.
All right, you pick him up with your android super strength and take him to sick bay, or get on the way to taking him to sick bay. All right, so we're gonna jump back to the prime time, which is currently being incinerated by the Sun Eater. So you're crawling around. Zukov is crawling around in the Jeffers tube, and you just hear like a lot of explosions. The whole ship rumbles, and you're just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?" So yeah, you don't really know what's happening to the ship. You just know that it's in some kind of conflict. What does Zukov want to do? Are you still gonna track car?
I'm going to have to track him less, but I want to try to still keep an eye on him. But I immediately am going to try to find a way to get the fuck out of there, like now.
Okay, if you spend a momentum, I'll say that you come across like a shuttle bay and the door happens. Okay. So yeah, you get to a shuttle bay. Go ahead and roll a D12 to determine what kind of ship you find.
Alright, let me just do it. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah. Alright, D12. Rolling. 3.
Ooh, let me pull up the Sun Eater because I only have that one. You find a Romulan scout ship just sitting there with nobody attending it, powered up, ready to go. Do you jump on?
I'm taking it.
All right. You get to the Romulan scout ship, and I need a control and con to fly your ass out of there.
Roll con, got it. Thank God you actually bumped the con up to 4.
Right.
Right.
It's not showing up on my end, so let me know when you roll it.
Alright, let me roll. Who's Guy Incognito?
That's Karava.
Oh.
Who we'll be going to next, as you guys are about to be shipped away from the colony towards Earth.
3 successes.
Alright. So, yeah, you get the ship out of it. It's like, flying through debris as the infamous dreadnought Primetime splits in half. Yeah, you're getting the hell out of there. I will also say that over your comms and also over the comms of the bridge on Dren 6's ship, the Sun Eater, everybody can hear a message coming from the Cursed Necropolis, the infamous player's former capital ship, basically saying, eliminate Dren 6, and kind of the same thing that Dren 6 said is, whoever takes out the other, basically the two infamous versions of the infamous are trying to take each other out so that they can remain. And at the very least, let's see. I'll say Omega because Omega's Omega's busy taking someone to sick bay. I need Huru and Storm to both roll Insight and Security or Command, either one. Difficulty is 1. Just to glean some information.
Could you roll for me?
Yeah, let me open up your character sheet. All right. So, ooh, wow, you both got 4 successes. I'm just gonna give you full momentum, and then just give you. I'll just say, let's see, 3, 3. So 5 bonus momentum. Make sure y'all use that. So basically, you over here in the static, as you're listening to these orders come in from the infamous Allegiance, that Dranar is on the run, is actually fleeing from conflict and attempting to hide somewhere. You're not sure where, but you get the feeling that it's either you know for sure it's not in the alpha beta or beta quadrant. It's either in the delta quadrant, the gamma quadrant, or the SMC galaxy. Do you guys? Why? I have no idea. um, do you guys want to do anything else other than just shoot and stuff? The ones who are on the Sun Eater. No. I will.
Basically,
Yep.
Storm's too busy pressing the singularity
Just blowing shit up.
torpedo. Just like blowing, just blowing shit up.
All right, one goes astray and hits like a populated planet with millions of people and just sucks it into a black hole.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna make you spend 2 momentum for that because that's a big deal, actually. Do you want to spend 2 momentum for that?
Yeah, totally.
All right, because you
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
cool.
plenty of momentum anyway. 3 bonus momentum. That's such a fucking cheap way to eliminate a large number of people. Well, we know who's getting that bit of reputation later. So, and also, Zukov, you're on your Romulan ship. You're getting out of
I'm
there.
gonna continue pressing that button. Just
Yep. That was weird. It says you're muted, but I heard you talking. But anyway,
yeah.
Zukov, you realize that the wormhole fluctuates. Like the wormhole opening tries to open, but then it just doesn't, which could only mean that it has been disabled from the other side. So what does Zukov do?
Well, for starters, do I know exactly where I am? Exactly.
You only know what the star charts tell you on the Romulan ship is that you're in another galaxy. Oh no. Please, computer, don't freeze on me. Don't do it. I promise I'll be good. Why you do this to me? Watch it still be broadcasting me, but just not work on my end. What the fuck?
Yeah. Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
What
My
the heck?
Gilded decided to freeze and then die and
For the whole game,
Yes.
I mopped the floor.
alright.
Yeah.
I scrubbed the wall.
I cleaned for
I
you.
have completely forgotten what we're doing. So what I think I was telling
I
you
sponge and anger.
I think I was telling Zukov you were in another galaxy, but I don't remember after that. Do y'all remember?
You were asking what Zukov was gonna do. For
Oh.
starters, get the fuck out of that thing's firing range!
Yeah, yeah. Well, That being said, you've already rolled pretty well for flying. So all I need is for Huru to use Huru or Storm. You guys see a Romulan scout ship try to escape this crumbling dreadnought that you guys have just incinerated with an anti-proton beam. Do you guys want to try to destroy all the little ships that are trying to escape, or are you just going to let them go? Are you going to tractor beam them in? How do you want to do it?
You guys, little ships are escaping.
You hear Dren 6 say, lock on to the ones that you can reach with a tractor beam. Bring them in. We can always use extra ships. As for the ones that are too far away to get with a tractor beam, that's what the anti-proton beam's for.
He starts with the Romulan ship, drags it in.
All right, that's going to be control security, assisted by the ship. Difficulty, because of all the crazy maneuvers that the Romulan ship is, it's going to be a difficulty 3 at least.
I'm gonna use the 3 bonus momentum.
All right.
So the
Oof.
You really don't want me to use this character for the next season of the Legion.
Oh, don't worry. You don't know it, Car. I might have told Car. I don't remember, but
You did not tell me.
But you guys are fine as far as that goes. No matter what happens in this galaxy, y'all's other characters will be fine. Trust me. So you feel Zukov, a tractor beam locks onto you. What do you do?
Does this scout ship have warp capabilities?
It does, but if you try to go to warp with a tractor beam on you, you're gonna pull apart half your ship.
Let's see.
You can attempt to shoot the tractor emitter, but it's gonna be really difficult because it's really far away and really small.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it.
All right, it's gonna be difficulty. Normally, are you using disruptors or torpedoes?
Torpedo.
Okay, so torpedo is going to be difficulty 2. The distance makes it difficulty 3. The fact it's really small is going to be difficulty 4. So that's going to be 4 difficulties to hit that tractor beam emitter.
I'm giving you 2.
2 threat.
2 threat.
Okay.
That thing's and I hope that scout ship's going to assist me.
Yeah, sure. I'll roll it for some. Actually, yeah, I'll roll for it. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's an 8, so that's a success.
And I'll spend my momentum to cover the complication.
Okay. Yeah, you. So how many? I'm not on that channel. Well, actually, yeah, I am.
3. I have 3 successes already.
So you have 3 plus the 1 the ship got, so that's 4 successes. What I say the difficulty was 4, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So you hit it, the tractor beam explodes. You continue flying away, and you get out of distance of the tractor beam. Storm, I believe that was Storm went. So Omega's off the bridge helping an individual. Huru, you have probably dozens of ships that you can target, or you can try to target the Romulan ship that's fleeing. What do you want to do?
I tell Huru that it broke the
You have like
tractor beam.
10 tractor beam emitters, but it's too far away for tractor beam now. If you're gonna get it, you have to shoot it. But just so you know, if you do shoot it, you'll be killing that character. It's up to you if you want to do that. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just making sure you know.
Is there any other ships that are close enough to be tractor emitted?
Yeah,
There's literally every other ship.
There's a dozen ships closer.
I'm gonna try to tractor in as many of the tractable ones that I can get.
All right. So roll control and security. I'll roll for the ship. Difficulty. They're flying around crazy, so difficulty 2. They're trying to escape.
All right, I'm gonna use 2 momentum for a couple extra dice.
Okay. So that puts you guys to 6, I believe. Ooh. So there's 2 fails right there. And the 16, I don't know, I have to check. 15 plus 10, so the
No.
16, yep. So you have 2 successes, which is exactly what you needed. So I'll let you, since you did, if you definitely get 1 random ship, but for every other ship, or for everything you want to spend a momentum on, you'll get another ship. So if you want to spend 2 momentum, you'll get 2 more ships. You can also give me threat. If you want to give me 2 threat, then you'll get 2 ships, etc., etc.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2 momentum and 2 threat. I want 4 ships.
All right, so you capture 5 ships for Dren 6. He is definitely pleased. You're down to 4 momentum. All right, so now we're gonna jump back to the colony, which I think I said I was gonna do that before. And we'll say this is a little bit in the future, like maybe a day or 2. A transport ship has arrived to pick up Cadet Karava, Lieutenant Runa, Cadet Thiessen, and who else? So I thought there was someone else. Oh yeah, some NPCs, I think. And Padar.
And Thiessen.
I said Thiessen. I forgot Padar. But they're going to pick you up and take you back. Anything else that you guys want to do on this planet before you are taken back to the Alpha Quadrant?
There's literally nothing
Nothing.
from Lieutenant Runa.
Okay, and Tali,
I
what
don't
was
know
that?
about any.
Not necessarily anything.
Okay. So then you
Is there
got,
anything to do on the colony?
like I said, anything that you can do on the Academy and campus that you guys were at, you can do here. I mean, there's holodecks, there's food, there's temporary living places, recreation centers, whatever you want to do, you can do.
No, I can't think of anything at the moment. I'll just get on the ship.
All right. You get on the ship and you shot into space. Well, not shot into space. You go to warp, and you are heading across the Shackleton Expanse sector towards first Narendra Station, which once you get there, then you will be put on another transport, and then shipped for about 2 months, maybe a month and a half. It'll take you to get to Earth. But for the record, you guys cadets are considered graduated year, whatever year you're in. So you'll be basically considered, next year level cadets. But yeah, you guys are on your way. And if there's anything you want to do at Narendra Station, Starbase, then let me know. Otherwise, you just get shipped there and then shipped, back towards Earth. And if there is nothing, then we'll jump back to Zukov. You are fleeing for your life. You managed to get out of range of the weapons and the tractor beams. And you are now heading into deep space of an unknown galaxy that is only been explored by the infamous Allegiance and a little bit of the Tal Shiar and a little bit of Starfleet, but not much. You do know that you could potentially get to one of these Starfleet or Romulan locations, these bases. However, the whole galaxy is about the 7% of the size of the galaxy of the Milky Way. So the infamous Allegiance basically has control over most of this galaxy, and there's only a few native intelligent species here, so there's not going to be a whole lot of help. But you are, at the very least for now, escaping the current catastrophe that you and your ship was in. Do you want to try to scan to see if you can find a Starfleet base or a Romulan base or another species or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that is going to be a reason and science. Difficulty's going to be 5 because, yeah, it's a small galaxy, but it's still big. It's 7,000 light years across. So it's still going to be, hard to find, especially with the infamous and everything. So you rolled, oh, you got a complication. You had plenty of, well, you had some momentum. Let's see. Do you want to spend momentum to get rid of the complication? Okay. So you don't detect. I mean, you detect a lot of bases for the Infamous on a lot of ships. Most ships just ignore you as they pass you to go fight the battle with the Sun Eater, and as the Civil War progresses. After several hours of just traveling, um, you, I mean, you're still in deep space, so you're basically like isolated from everything and everyone. And oh shit, what was it? I was gonna say something and I fucking blanked on it. Um, you, yeah, you just keep on flying, looking, and so far you haven't found anything, but eventually you will. It just may take more time, and the longer you take, the difficulty goes down. So next roll it'll be 4 and etc. So back on the Dreadnought, the Sun Eater. Omega has taken a human man to sickbay, and he's basically, and it has taken you like 10 minutes to get there because it's a huge ass ship. But he's like dying, and he's like grabbing at the android, like, please don't let me die, please don't let me die. A doctor comes over to try to administer some doctory things. Sorry, I blanked for a second. Some anesthetics and pain relievers and just general things that doctors do.
Doctoring things is the proper medical term.
Yeah, exactly. So, what does Omega want to do? Does Omega just drop him off and leave, or is Omega like, oh, it'll be okay? Does Omega even have a bedside manner?
Is, if you're going to die, then you would have died already. Now quit whining.
He's like, yes, yes, android. He's not really sure what your rank is or name, so he doesn't. So he's just like, yes, okay. And then
Then he just casually just drops him off like a UPS box and just leaves.
The doctor pulls out a syringe, and as you're leaving, you can hear him say, we don't need this guy around. Euthanasia it is. And he injects him.
There is no reaction. Omega just keeps walking.
I bring in janitorial supplies to clean that up.
You clean up the blood and everything off the floor, and then someone says,
Yeah.
do we really need janitors around? Let's get the euthanasia injection for the janitor.
Yep.
Alright, so back on the bridge. Several hours, probably 5 hours pass of you guys just fighting it out with the dreadnought. More dreadnoughts show up, but you shoot through them like it's nothing. And after a moment, another dreadnought shows up. Probably after like another hour of just no fighting, another dreadnought shows up and hails, signaling the infamous allegiance has surrendered to Dren 6. And Dren 6 will now take hundreds of dreadnoughts into his own armada. Dren 6 stands up and looks around at Storm, Omega, who has returned, and Huru, and the others, whoever is still around and still alive, and he says, "Good work. See, that's what teamwork can. That's what teamwork can do." And he walks over to the Hirosian. He says, "Hirosian, what is your name?"
It is Huru, sir.
Huru, what was your job before you joined my cause?
I was a commander of a small Hirosian frigate. And, well, just a commander.
I mean, honorable work. I think I'm going to put you in command of one of our battle groups. And he walks over to Omega. And what was your job, android?
Executive officer of the TIDIA, as well as an executioner. Sir.
I see. And what is your name, android?
Omega.
Ha, a fitting name. I will put you in command of a Scale 7 Dreadnought. And I want you to find the artificial wormhole that Starfleet created to this galaxy and wait for further orders once you get there. Is that understood?
Understood, sir.
And he goes over to Storm and says, Your name, Dren Clone? Or is
Storm.
it just Dren? And then a number.
Dren Storm.
Storm?
Dren Storm.
Okay. What was your job before all this started?
I was a commander and a of the captain of the TID Killjoy.
I see. Well, you can be that again. You can be all of that. But in addition to that, I would like you to be my executive officer.
Yes, sir.
Very well. Now the rest of you, get out of here. Someone will assign you your own quarters on this ship, and later on they will take you to your appropriate vessels that you will command, and then you'll all be given your official orders later. And he kind of just waves you off, and he kind of roll insight command, everybody. I'm gonna actually contest it, but you do notice he sits down on his throne as you guys walk out. And if anyone happens to notice, you may notice something about him. Ooh, he rolled 3 successes, so you need 3 successes at least.
Neither
it looks like
me
none of
or-
us do. Yeah, me and Omega don't notice.
You don't notice anything. Yep, you walk out of the bridge without noticing anything, and you get a feeling, even though you didn't notice anything. Something odd about Dren 6, other than the fact that he's conquered dozens of galaxies and universes. But you walk out and you go to wherever you're going, assuming your temporary or your I guess your permanent quarters now. And then let's see. A few moments later, Storm, you are summoned to your Scale 7 Dreadnought. Sorry, I'm just
I go to my Scale 7 Dreadnought.
Yeah.
We.
So, what do you want it to be? Because you pick your ship. Oh no, wait, was it Omega or Storm?
You gave the android the scale
Yeah.
7, and
Yeah.
and Storm was basically directly
Yeah. Sorry.
Ren
Memory
6's
is great.
executive officer.
Yeah. Plus, you're still gonna maintain Killjoy, so you still have that. You still have the Killjoy. But yeah, Nostra, what Scale 7 ship do you want? So that's basically Sovereign class and bigger.
Let's see here.
That could be a Romulan Dideridex. That could be a Vorcha cruiser. You could have a Borg ship if you want. You could have a Dominion battle cruiser. You could have, let's see what else. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of them. Let me actually Google it. Scale 7. I don't know why it's all caps, but okay.
What about a Kittimer class?
Kittimer. Oh, is that the mix between Klingon and Federation?
Yep,
Is it Scale 7?
I think so.
If it's bigger than a Sovereign class, then it's Scale 7, because I think Sovereigns are either 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's built after a Sovereign class. I know that.
Let's see.
Like the saucer section is.
Why does it say Scale 5 for Vorcha Cruiser? Okay, maybe not Vorcha Cruiser then. Oh yeah, Sovereign is Scale 6. Oh, Negvar class Klingon ship. See, these say Scale 6, but they're really, in the show they're big, but on here they're smaller, so. But basically any ship that you can think of that can reasonably be called a Scale 7, which is, really big, then that'll be your ship.
Taking the Vorcha.
The Vorcha, alright, so you have a Vorcha class cruiser, which is larger than pretty much almost all Federation ships. And once you get to that ship, You find Dren 6 and his female executive officer, who hasn't been named yet, because I haven't thought of a name yet, is there waiting for you. The ship is docked in the docking bay of the massive dreadnought, and Dren 6 says, Omega, in addition to getting to the wormhole, the artificial wormhole, I do have a mission for you. I need you to send this message through. And he just kind of hands you like a data drive. He says, you're permitted to listen to it, but don't let anyone else hear it. It's for your ears and the ears of the Federation only. Is that understood?
Understood, sir.
Alright, and he just nods and walks away. Do you listen to it before you get to the wormhole?
Before I get to the wormhole, when we're on the way there, yes, I will listen.
Okay. So you plug it into your ship, and you, by the way, you have a whole crew of like 100 people. And it says, I am Dren 6, destroyer of civilization, devourer of worlds, render of reality. From my many wars across the multiverse, I have rarely encountered a version of the Federation or Starfleet that would not fight against all odds to maintain the freedom and lifestyle of its united peoples. Therefore, I make this declaration. So long as you remain in the Alpha and Beta Quadrant and out of my business, you'll be allowed to continue to exist, for now. Do not interfere with my conquest of the Gamma and Delta Quadrant, nor the small Magellanic Cloud. No further dialogue will be necessary for some time, and then the transmission ends.
With a nod, I'll patiently wait and then transmit it to the entirety of the Federation when it's time.
Alright.
Without anyone else hearing it.
So that is where Omega's story for Season 1 of the Infamous Players will end, and then we'll pick up there with your character next season. Storm, you are ordered to report to the bridge at
He does.
0800 hours as the new executive officer. The previous executive officer has basically been promoted. She's off somewhere on some other ship, captaining it. But you get there, and he says, first of all, you're still a commanding officer. You still have your own ships. You still have your own battle group that you can command. But I need someone I can rely on up here on the bridge with me. For day-to-day business, you're basically in command of the ship. I will be mostly handling the administration of the infamous empire as a whole. So you'll be basically in command of this ship when I'm not actively sitting in here on the bridge giving orders. Is that understood, Mr. Storm?
Yes, sir.
Alright. And yeah, that's pretty much where your story is going to end, as basically the commander of the flagship of the infamous Allegiance, now the new infamous Allegiance. We still have to figure out what we're calling it. It's probably not going to stay Allegiance, but yeah, we'll pick that up next season for your character. And Tali, Huru is, you still have your frigate. And I believe he said he was going to give you a battle group. So let me look and let's see. The boy squadron is the IEA and the Killjoy. So Mac, your character is still in charge of the Killjoy. However, Huru is basically going to take command of the squadron, which includes the Untouchable Devastator, which was that Klingon bird of prey, the Zendi ship, the IA, and the, unless you want to keep it, do you guys, Mac, do you want to keep the Cry Terror, or do you just want to let Huru have that in his battle group?
I'll keep the Cry Terror and the Killjoy.
Okay. I'm gonna move y'all's your ship character sheets to different folders. What about you, Nostra? Do you want to keep the Inevitable Exterminatus, or do you want to let Huru keep it in his battle group?
Huru can have it in his battle group.
Okay. And I will add another ship into that at a much later date. Let me write it down. Add ship to Huru Battle Group. All right. And that way you will have a total of 5 ships at your command, Huru. And that is where your story ends for season 1 of the Infamous Players. Basically, which ship is going to be Huru's battleship? The Hirogen ship or another ship?
The biggest one. I don't know the ship yet.
That's going to be the Zendi ship. That's like a scale 9. That's a huge ass ship. Very powerful. All right. So, oh wait, yeah. Okay. All right, and also,
What's the Zindi ship name?
the IAYE. It's basically a Zindi aquatic cruiser with the Zindi name. IA. So now back to the cadets. Where will your story end? Well, your story ends, for this year at least, on Earth, basically being congratulated for a job well done, even though...
Hello?
What's up, Mac? I heard you say hello. Mac?
For a second there, I thought I wasn't hearing you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Gilded must be acting up.
For a second there, I thought I wasn't hearing you.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. But basically the cadets are congratulated, job well done. Padar, as well as, you know, maybe one other cadet has some, I think it was just Padar, has minor injuries which are easily taken care of. And you guys are basically graduated this year and will go to your next year in a few months. So let's start with Karava. What is Karava gonna do during her summer break?
Maybe she'll return to Prophet's Landing. She'll ask Z to come with her again.
You ask who to come with you?
Z.
Who's Z? Oh, you mean Velik?
Velik, yeah, that's it. Velik.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah. All right. So Velik and Karava go back home to Prophet's Landing for vacation. And what about Storm, or not Storm? Lieutenant Runa. What's Lieutenant Runa doing for summer vacation?
Do you, and what about DJ? Do you want me to?
Was DJ on the shuttle?
No.
Then we'll do that next game. We'll do that. Cause we're gonna have next. When we come back, we're gonna have to deal with the whole diplomacy with the Saphir, and
yeah,
I'm guessing Johnson will be there. So we'll do that next, and then after that, we'll talk about summer break and everything.
Lieutenant Runa should be in helping with the investigation of her mother.
Oh, right. Yes.
And her disappearance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's what she's currently doing, because she wants to know who's erased a bit of her history, because she knows what she remembers.
Right. Alright, and I think Corvinus is also with Velik and Johnson, and so that leaves Thiessen. What is Thiessen up to for the summer break?
Underground in Texas, there's a colony of people like me, and that's where I'm going to be.
By people
nice,
like,
cool.
By people like you,
nice,
what do you mean? Like Andorian?
Yes, Andorian.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
No, so it's a cool temperature atmosphere for Andorians and people that require a colder atmosphere.
Gotcha.
And that's where I'm going to be.
Cool. All right. Well, that is. Oh, Lasco Zed still in. Once you know the operation was done with the wormhole to destroy it or whatever. Obviously, Zed was released. What does Zed do after he's released from the break? Where does he go and what does he do?
He's gonna send a request to the ally he made
Oh, the Egregore.
to.
And like I said, ally
Yeah.
is a strong word. They're more like people that don't completely hate you. So, but what do you want to do with that, with the Egregore?
Yeah. Basically, he earned their trust.
Yeah.
He would ask, send a message to the chick who helped him with his dad, and see if she can help keep him, see if she can help keep him hidden for a while until he figures out what him and his dad, until he figures out what he wants to do, if he wants to continue being in Starfleet or leave it completely.
So Zed is going AWOL.
No, he's gonna put a request in for
to
leave.
Leave. Okay.
Yeah, he'll put the request in as well.
Okay. So he'll put in a request. Hey, going on leave. They're probably gonna have a counselor ask you questions about why you did what you did and why Captain threw you in the brig and all this other stuff. But basically, it's just gonna blow over and then you'll disappear. So generally speaking, the max leave, unless you never took leave ever, the max leave you could probably get is like a month. Even if you didn't take leave ever, maybe you could get 2 months. So, I mean, you could even potentially get the entire summer off. But does he have any plans to return at the end of the summer, or is he going to just try to stay away and stay hidden and all that
He
stuff?
hasn't taken any leave.
Probably.
Ever.
Well, actually, no. He has. Well, you remember the last 2 seasons when we had that R&R thing, and basically for everything you did, you got momentum for. That's leave. So he would have taken, and even if he decided not to take leave, he still offered. He was still allowed to take leave. So,
Yeah.
he probably has taken
didn't
some
take
leave.
Some leave, but not much.
Right.
When he was forced into R&R.
So at the end of his R&R, what does he do? Does he come back to Starfleet, or does he stay away hidden? Because it's probably still going to be before the summer ends.
He'll decide then.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can just message me, because, I mean, I'm sure you and I are going to have a private conversation about the Egregore and what they're capable of and what they're going to do and all this stuff. So, we'll talk about that in private message. Now, for those of you, I know Karava was in our last game. If I've already given you your spotlight milestone or your arc milestone or your reputation, then this doesn't count for you. This only counts for people that have not yet gotten reputation or milestones in the game.
Oh, I didn't get an arc milestone in the last game.
Okay, then
I got 4
I haven't
experience
gotten
points.
really any milestones at all.
So
I got four reputation though.
Okay, then you'll just keep the 4 reputation. That's fine, and you'll also get an arc milestone. Huru and the infamous players, you guys know how I do reputation. We have to go into the evil reputation section. So let me go there real quick.
Mass extinction.
Mass extinction event. Yep.
War crimes.
All right. So acted in a. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so it's acted in accordance with orders and directives. All of you get +2. And by all of you, I mean Storm. Actually, you did change sides. So I'll have to...
Well, technically, he was acting in... all 3 of us were acting in orders and directives.
To an extent.
We got told.
But then you changed sides. So that kind of negates it. Right?
Basically, we got told if we did not bring back the infamous son, we had to.
I gotta go. What, Mom?
We got dismissed.
Alright, see you, Noster.
Considered dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry.
Alright,
Bye.
I'll message you your rep.
There's a question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a year 3 cadet now. Do I change my character sheet at all?
Yeah, I'll message you about that. I'm gonna have to talk to everybody about it, so don't worry.
So basically, he was told if they did not rescue the infamous son,
Don't come back at all.
don't come back at all. So they didn't rescue the infamous son. So
Right.
they just
All right. So I won't take away your +2, but I am gonna take away -1 for. Well, no, I can't really do that. You didn't really challenge a directive. Directly responsible for saving a Dren clone. I don't think y'all did that, did you? I don't think you
No.
saved the Dren clone. Nobody saved Storm. Nobody saved Dren 6. Taking unnecessary risks. I mean, yeah, you actually did do that because you went on a hunt for Zukov when you didn't have to. You definitely shouldn't have actually, but you did. So +2, so that's a 4. Adequately served, yeah, 5 because you definitely adequately served or entertained your Dren commander. Resorted to lethal force without clause, that's a +1. I'm pretty sure you guys did that. I'm just gonna say everyone gets 6. Gets 1 for that, so that's 6.
Yeah,
Establish an alliance
we
with
totally
another.
did that.
You did establish an alliance with enemy. You can't get out of this one. You did. You knew Dread 6 was the enemy of the infamous, and you sided with him. So I'm taking away 3 for that. I'm sorry. Everybody did it. You're
Yep.
getting to 3 taken away. That's the one. Okay. Prevented combat. You didn't prevent combat. Insubordination. You were not insubordinate. Betrayed the infamous allegiance. You did do that too. I'm sorry. You did betray the infamous allegiance. I know you're going to say, but technically Gen 6 is still... Yeah, but he's not this version, this universe's version of the infamous. So you did do that. So now you're at -2 with no plus points. Acted or heroic or cruel. Okay, you guys did that. So +4. So now you're back at 2. Personnel under your commander are killed. I don't think so. I think y'all pretty much acted alone. Disrespected the infamous to his face or behind his back. You actually did a good job of not doing that, even though you changed sides, so I'm going to not take away 4 for that. Conquered or enslaved or exterminated a large number of single people during a conflict. Yeah, even though it was an accident, I'll give you +5. So Storm's at 7 positive reputation, and Huru and Omega are at +2.